give a warm welcome applause to Mr. Tom Sizemore.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good morning.
There's nobody here. I don't mean that. You were here.
So, how do you enjoy your stay so far here in Germany?
The first couple of days were tough and I wasn't feeling well, but I'm feeling great today and I've had a wonderful time.
Hello.
Hi.
You work with Spielberg and Michael Mann and with Oliver Stone. Is there any major difference in their directions?
Martin Scorsese, you've heard him.
What?
Martin Scorsese also.
Yeah. Is there any major difference between them, or share they something together? Or
Well, they're all very, very different in personality. All those directors you just named have one thing in common. They know the story they want to tell. They're very well prepared. And they don't suffer any kind of foolishness or bullshit. They know what they want to do. They're not really confused about what story they're telling. And as an actor, I like to be directed, but I can't see it. So they're the kind of men and directors that you feel really comfortable deferring to their judgment.
So, can you tell us how you started in the business? In the business, how you started?
I never wanted to be an actor when I was younger. I wanted to be an NFL football player. And I played football as I was little. I was the best quarterback in the country in high school in 1980. In high school. I'm still the #1 ground gainer from yards from scrimmage. You don't know what that means over here. The most goals in soccer, I still have the most goals for a prep. That means a high school athlete. And I went to a major college, and I got hurt as a sophomore. I was going to start as a junior, and I was very, very fast, and I could fill the football, I played quarterback. That summer of my sophomore year, my coach sent me to the Alvin Ailey dance theater to rehab my knee with some stretching and stuff, hoping that that would help it. It had been destroyed, my knee, and it didn't. While I was there that summer, I started to work with these dancers, and then subsequently he introduced me to Bob Fosse. As you know, Bob Fosse directed Star 80, the movie, and there's many musicals. And Mr. Fosse, I was very naive in a lot of ways. He asked me one day if I knew that I had charisma. And I thought it was a homosexual term. And I said, man, get away from me. And it wasn't. And he tried to explain it to me like me. And I went back to school, and my athletic career was over. And it was really earth-shattering for me. I subsequently went home and just moped around, and my mother was called by Mr. Fosse, and he said, why doesn't he come out to New York? And so then I went out there, and I ended up in the Ensemble Studio Theater, and I subsequently went to Yale University, and that's how it started. And then, this is the thing though, when I did my first musical, I started in musical theater, it wasn't unlike football. You have your head coach, your director, you have your quarterbacks, that's your stars, you have your supporting players, your offensive linemen, that's the chorus, and you learn the plays, which are the dance numbers, and you work on them and practice them, and you have opening night, which is like the big football game. So there was a lot of things that were similar, metaphorically speaking, in the two disciplines. And I really liked that, and I really loved the performing. And I was bitten by the bug immediately. I loved it, and I've been doing it ever since.
So, I think we have a question over here. I've heard you are a big fan of Tom. You got all his movies on DVD, is that right?
Yeah, I'm definitely a very big fan of Tom. I have a question for Tom.
I'm a big fan of your father's.
Well, thank you.
I wish I could say I was a big fan of yours, but I'm even a bigger fan of yours.
Thank you. Good say. So, my question to you, Tom, what is your most gratifying role of all the wonderful roles you've done, of all the great characters you've played? What is the one that stands out in your mind that you think, man, that was fucking awesome? I love that.
I'm going to give you two answers. Not to sound sanctimonious or sugary or something. My favorite role is the role I'm playing right now, and that is a sober and it's the hardest part I've ever had to play, and it was the most difficult part to get, and I have to work on it every day. And if those of you that know anything about my past will know what I mean. The other part that I was really, really proud of, twofold, it was my performance in Natural Born Killers, because it was my very first large part, and I was very nervous. When I got the part, Oliver Stone said to me, I don't know if you know how he spoke. He's been out of the public eye for some time, but he kind of talks like this, you know. Hey, Sizemore, I'm making a chair off the table. It's got 4 legs: Downey, Jones, Juliet, and Woody. But it's a 5-legged table. You're my 5th leg, and if you wobble, man, you're gonna fuck my table up, and I'm gonna kill you for that. So there's a little bit of pressure going into that. And the second performance I'm most proud of is a role I did as an unbilled cameo in a movie called Enemy of the State that Mr. Busey's in also, where I play a hoodlum, a Don, in, I think it was Baltimore, Maryland, named, I really can't remember what my name is in that movie because I only had 2 scenes. My name was Asshole, probably. And the first line I had in the movie was, "Everybody say money! Everybody say not guilty!" And I improv that for Tony, and I just played John Gotti, and I was 52 pounds overweight, and I was very nervous about doing it in a movie, but I kind of, Mr. Scott persuaded me, and then I kind of embraced the fatness of it all. But most importantly, in that movie, I was able to lose my self-consciousness about being heavy and do the part. I played Pintero, excuse me, remember the name now? Pintero. And I was very proud of my performance that night. Thanks, Jake.
How was it on the set of Natural Born Killers? I heard a lot of stories.
It was fucking off the hook crazy. I don't know what else to say. I don't remember Oliver ever sleeping. 58 Days of Madness. But he was in the zone then. He really wasn't on his... Mr. Stone has had some problems, and I think people know that. You know, been arrested. But he's had some problems with excess. But in Natural Born Killers, it was still early in his career, and he just came off JFK. I think his greatest movie is Nixon myself. That's where I think of it all kind of, but no one saw it. But in Natural Born Killers, he was really knew what he was doing. He was very much, he was so focused and so knew the story he was telling. We got the script piecemeal, because he didn't want to, once I read there was a cartoon in it, I was like, Oliver, what the fuck are we doing? The blood drops in the water and turns into a serpent, and what the fuck is going on here? I thought making a movie. And only he knew what he was doing. He shot like 38 different formats. And he really was, I think he's an artist, and he was at the top of his artistic game.
So, can you tell us, how do you prepare for a role?
The thing I do the most is I read the script a lot. When I was a young actor, after I got out of school, I studied with Sandy Meisner. I don't know if you know who Sandy Meisner is. He was a very famous acting coach in New York, and he did what is called the repetitions. So let's say you and I were doing it, I would say, I went to the store. You would say to me, I went to the store. And we would repeat that back and forth until something happened. That takes 2 years, generally speaking, before it's about listening. And now each of us would have an activity to do, which means I might be sewing and he might be cleaning the room. And in life, the way he taught it like this is that none of us really pay attention to other people. We're self-absorbed in our own lives and in our tasks. But at the same time, we do hear that one thing that goes, the I love yous, you're evicted, you're under arrest. And he was trying to get us to listen, but not listen. Because he thought that's what human beings did. And I learned a lot from him about listening and about how scenes are not, a lot of actors play scenes like this. It's my scene. Meisner taught all of his actors, and there are a great many of them. Brad Pitt's one of them, Sharon Stone's one of them, Robert Jr. is one of them, Tommy Lee Jones is one of them. That acting really is a reacting business. You do something, and I react to it. It's tennis, and it's not a bad actor. Generally speaking, will do the same thing every single take. So he was the most important person in my development as an actor, and I got him right at the end of his life. He was still very, very, very with it. He was in a wheelchair and he had a tracheotomy. He would take his tracheotomy and he'd go, "All right, who wants to go up there today and fuck everything up?" And he tried to create fear, but he didn't. He created a real loving environment because he was such a nice man. And that's where I really learned